Jamal Crawford's basketball dominance in high school and AAU had every major college program in the nation chasing after him. But for a kid growing up in the early 1990s, the allure of the college game's biggest icons of the era was too much to pass up.
When the opportunity presented itself to go to Michigan and the opportunity to play right away, it was like a no-brainer for me. I think watching the Fab Five, they had just taken over college basketball with Jalen and Chris and Juwan and Ray and Jimmy and those guys, and I couldn't believe it.
We grew up in an era where the Fab Five might have been the coolest thing on earth.
Back then in '98, I mean, you know, there's still a big buzz about the Fab Five. I think that was one of the things that swayed him towards Michigan. I think that kind of cemented the deal as far as him going to Michigan.
When he chose to go to Michigan University, I thought that it was a great opportunity. I really wanted him to play in the Pac-10, but he decided he wanted to be on the big stage.
I remember him playing against Duke. He put on a show. And I remember Coach K embraced him after the game. And I called him right after the game, like, what did he say to you? He was like, you're going to be a great NBA player. You're one of the toughest guys we ever seen. And I was like, damn, Coach K said that to you? He was like, yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, you're a big-time player. If Coach K said that to you, you're a big-time player.
I still have that game recorded. That game against Duke on national television. I mean, you know, we're talking about launching pads. That was the one that launched him onto the scene. I honestly believe if Jamal would have came back his next year, he might have been the #1 pick in the draft. That's how good a player I thought he was.
Jamal's freshman season at Michigan began red hot as he averaged 16.6 points and 4.5 assists per game, but quickly cooled when an NCAA violation led to a 6-game suspension.
They said I was accepting gifts in high school, but at the time there wasn't a rule for it. And it ended up being amateurism. But the weird thing was it wasn't an AAU coach, it wasn't a booster, it wasn't an alumni from Michigan. And that's kind of like the 3 main people they tell you to stay away from. It's just a guy in Seattle who was a family friend who was pretty well off, who was helping me out, whether it be with a tutor or, you know, lunch money, whatever. And they didn't have a rule for it, so then they reinstated me to play, but the season was over with. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna put my name in the draft and see what happens.
He was a little bit discouraged and embarrassed and whatnot when he comes back, but he didn't let it discourage him for what the goal was and what he wanted to do as far as to further his career in basketball.
He always stayed confident through the whole process. I was with him every step of the way, and I don't think he second-guessed it not one time. He said, I'm leaving. I'm the best player in college basketball. I should be drafted.
I said, Jamal, don't you think you should wait 1 more year? Big names are coming out, Mateen Cleaves, and I started naming A.J. Guyton. I said, just think what 1 more year would do.
I thought he should have stayed in again another year too. I didn't think he was going to get drafted really high. I thought that he didn't prove a lot in Michigan, but a lot of other things were happening in Michigan that he needed to get out of there. And I think problems was going around on campus or whatever. But, you know, he decided to go out there and decided to be a good look for him.
He said, I got to go this year. And he said, just believe in me. And he looked at me and he just said, just believe in me. And I said, so what's that mean if you go in the 2nd round? He said, 2nd round? I'm not going in the 2nd round.
And he goes to pre-draft camp. And in pre-draft camp, he said the big question mark about him was, could he shoot?
Went down there to that NBA camp in Chicago, showed out, and 8th pick in the NBA draft in 2000. Pretty unbelievable, but that's a true story.
They all saw me play and they were like, he's moving up and up and up on the charts and end up being drafted, lottery pick. Like when you're a consensus lottery pick, they invite you to the green room and you hear all these rumors, this trade is gonna happen, you're gonna go here or there, and you never know until the cameras actually come up right before they announce your name, and they came up when Cleveland's pick at number 8, and I'm like, this is a mistake. I didn't even work out for Cleveland. I know they didn't, you know, they're not selecting. They got Andre Miller playing point. So they come up and they say my name, I'm looking like, wow. I walk up there, talk to David Stern, shake his hand. I get traded while I'm doing a press conference for Cleveland to Chicago, and the rest was history. I was in the NBA.
I was really surprised that he was drafted that high, but I think Chicago's seen something in him that didn't nobody else see. I seen it in him. I thought he needed 1 more year to learn how to adjust to the pros and get his body right, but he proved us all wrong.
He looked at me afterwards and he gave me a big hug and he said, "You asked would I be in the top 13. You said A.J. Guyton, Mateen Cleaves." And then he said, "JAMAL Crawford." So then we just hugged each other. But yeah, those were great days.
LA probably doesn't happen without Portland. You know, like how bad Portland was drove me that summer. I was like, okay, I'm gonna show them that I still got this.